Welcome to our used 2022 Tracer 24 DBS. Starting right in your back bumper here. If you just reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears and the adapter here. It's how I'll be hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit fresher and cleaner. Cap just presses back into place. A couple of steps forward and you'll find your short cord inlet. So as you pop that open, there's a little notch in the bottom corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. Press those in together, little eighth turn will lock it down, then you get the threaded collar in the back there to properly lock it into place. As you follow your cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites will have that. You can plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Kind of straight underneath there, you're going to find your sewer hose outlet, so you're going to kind of press on that cap and give it a turn. It'll pop on out of there. It's got the same two ears on it that your sewer hose had. They'll attach the same way. Once you got that hooked up, on the left you got a gray valve, on the right you get a black. Black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilets. It's of course going to be your dirtiest water. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water. Just dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. Making our way towards the front of the unit now. You're going to find these two stickers here right underneath it. In the front, you've got your freshwater tank drain. So as you open that up, just allows the water tank to drain itself out. The two lines behind it are your low point drains. They just, as you open those up, they allow the water system to drain itself out. This compartment here, as you open it up, the left side is of course your storage. Does see straight through to the other side. In here you'll find your water hose. Inside of the water hose you're going to find your park adapter. So your 30 amp into there, 15 to a standard outlet. You can see here this customer's also opted to go with the weight distribution hitch. So we just got that stored in here for him as well. And then on the right side you get your water system. So first thing right in the top there, you get that little service light. On the left side, you get a solar panel plug-in. So if you're in solar panel, plug into there, charges your batteries. On the right side, you get your satellite inlet on top and your cable on the bottom. Coax cables plug into the respective ports, fire up at your TV location. In the center here is your city water connection. Your water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and it'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. On the left side, you've got your freshwater inlet. So that same water hose will plug into here, turn on the water, and that'll fill up your freshwater tank. You know that tank is full once you start seeing water spit out of this little blue vent here. In the bottom is your exterior shower. So you get this little hose here. It's got those two little ears on either side. You're going to line those up with the 3 and 9 o'clock position. Then you get your hot and cold water there. It's just a standard garden hose end on it. So if you want to attach something, you can. Black tank flush on the right side here. So you may notice over time after having gone and dumped your black tank, your monitor panel is still reading a third or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically it's just some debris inside of the tank hanging between the probes. What you can do is take your water hose and plug it into there. Open up that black valve, turn on the water, and let it flush out that tank for you, getting rid of any sort of debris. Battery disconnects on the side here. So with that pushed in, I believe that's it disconnected. Pull it out, and that is connected. Around to the front of the unit now, that little black box there with that red light is your tire pressure monitor sender. So basically you got those sensors inside of your tires right now. You'll have a handheld unit inside of your truck. That guy's just sending you that information. Battery is housed inside of this box right here. As long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pinch your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. These knobs there, if you loosen them off and push them back, you get access to your propane tanks. For the video, I'll just pull this right off. There's a bungee cord in the back here. Right. We can show you your changeover in the front here. So it's currently green and pointing over here, so it's letting us know we've got propane and we're running off of this tank. If it were to go red, it's just letting you know you no longer have any propane left. You're going to flip over to the other tank, run off of that one while you get the other one filled. In front's your power tongue jack. On the left is the light switch. On the right, up is down, down is up. Other end of your storage compartments here, magnetic latches, just hold them open. Inside of here, you'll find that manual override for all of your tongue jack up front, as well as the manual override for your stabilizer jacks. Just basically right on the other end of it, you got that little rod that you'll attach to. Stabilizers are run off of this switch here. Press and hold extend, and they'll make their way down. They're not going to level the unit. They're just going to kind of equalize. So you want to get that unit as level as possible before you bring these down. Once you have them set up and down to the ground, you'll kind of hear that load on the motor. Once you hear that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, you can actually strip the gear packs right out of them. Up towards the front here is a little service light. Now you can't quite see that switch too well from out here, but it is a dual function light, where on the left it'll have a 1, on the right it'll have a 2. 2 just means dual function. It means that it's using that motion sensor to turn itself on and off. 1 would just be on. I'll get you a better look at those lights once we get inside of the unit. Little leash latch there, so if you've got the dog with you, you can tie him down. Bottle opener right by the door. GFI protected outlet, as well as your cable and satellite outlet. So if you want TV outside, you got the power to do so. Exhaust for your furnace here, so if you're ever running your furnace, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Straight up from there, you'll find your 2 exterior speakers. They do have little blue lights inside of them as well that will turn on. And then your exterior shower here, your exterior kitchen. You're gonna open that up, the same magnetic latch is there. 120 volt fridge, so as long as you're plugged in, this guy's going for you. Right in the center here is a little push button light, power outlet in the back. This guy here, you're gonna pull that travel strap up, and you can pull it on out. You get straps in the back there, so you can kind of tie it down, lock it open. Stove on the right side here, flips on open, and then you get your rings here. Bring those on down, and you get your propane hose. So just gonna pull that collar back, and you can disconnect it right underneath the stove. Got a little pigtail there that we'll tie into, and then right at the unit here, we can attach our hose. Pull that dust cap out, push the collar back, attach your hose, make sure that's locked in. Once you have it locked in, you can open up that valve. With that valve open, you cannot undo that quick connect, so it's just kind of an added safety. For the stove, you're now going to turn it over to light, grab a lighter. Simple as that. Right. Once you're done, just turning it off, letting it cool down, and then closing it back up. You're going to close off that flow of propane, undo your hose from there, and put that dust cap back in place. And then undo it from the stove, and then I just like to attach the hose to itself, just ensures that nothing's going to get inside of there. And then on the left side here, you get your kitchen sink. So you can see that the sink here does not have a drain. You're just kind of pulling it out and dumping it. This guy here works the exact same that you had that exterior shower hose. You get the 2 ears there, you push them into there, and then you get your hot and cold water. And lastly, in the back here, right behind the bumper, you're going to find that rear stabilizer jack switch. Above that's your hot water tank. Line up that keyway and you can pop it on open. All your controls to turn this guy on are inside the unit. Before we turn it on though, we just want to hit this relief valve right there. You should get that water coming out. If you're not getting any water coming out, there is a chance that it's empty and you do run the risk of burning out your elements. You just want to make sure it's full before firing it up. Once you're done, just lock it back down with the keyway. Lastly, you get your spare tire, and straight up from there, you'll find a pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. So now we'll make our way inside of the unit. Your assist handle here, just up 90 degrees, it'll fall into place. Then you can open up the door. With the door wide open, you can take that yellow handle either way, and that'll undo the latches. And you can bring these stairs out. There's this little pin right there. If you just push that up, you can extend or retract your legs based on your campsite needs. So as you come inside, first things first, right on the left there, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. Straight up the wall from there, you'll find all your light switches. The one on the right side here is going to do some scare lights on the front of the unit. Center right does your speaker lights. Center left is going to do your awning light. And on the far left there, you get your interior lights. The light right inside your entry door here is that kind of dual function light I was talking about. So one is just on, it'll just stay on, and then two is going to be your motion sensing. Right. So once it senses a lack of motion for a minute, it'll turn itself off. Once it picks up motion again, it'll turn back on. The awning is on this switch here. Press and hold out, and that awning will make its way out. Once that awning is fully extended, we're going to see a little black dot come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case the fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So there's the flap, and there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. What you can do is grab either arm, front, or rear, just pull straight down on it, and then you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now if you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just make sure these arms are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then you can press and hold in, and that awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that your fabric's over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind. So once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. Our other big switch here is for your slide. Press and hold out, and that slide will make its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, it'll just kind of turn itself off and set itself in place. There you go. This light switch here is going to do your bedroom lights. And in your bedroom, you just have this open closet space on either side. You also got a little light there, just on its own center push button. Same thing on the other side. If you pick up the foot of your bed, you do get access to a little storage compartment here. And then also right in the center here between your sliding doors, you've just got your TV backer. Straight up in there, you'll find your outlets for it. The doors do just slide, so you got that little travel latch there. You'd pull that, you can extend or just slide the doors. Above my head is pre-wire for Wi-Fi. Across your entertainment area here, as you can see, you get your TV. Pretty straightforward. Right behind it on this side here, got your outlet for it. Cable and satellite outlet up top, antenna outlet in the bottom. Turning that antenna on is just that little button there. You get that green light letting you know it is turned on. TV is on a mount, so it swings out. That's why we've got the travel straps there. Stereo, pretty straightforward there. Power button's going to turn it on. Select is going to get through all your settings. Mode's going to get through all your inlets. And then volume controls on the side. Zone 1 is the sound bar itself. Zone 2 is your outside set of speakers. A little bit of storage underneath it. And your thermostat over on this side here as well. You're going to press and hold the power button. That'll turn it on. Going to start from fan. So fan L is going to be, of course, low. Press fan, you can come into high. That's, of course, just moving some air around. There's no cooling involved. Press that power button. It's also your mode. It'll come down into dry. At this point, it's going to run the low fan and the compressor just to try and get rid of any humidity from the unit. Mode again after that will come up into cool. At this point, you can select your low or high fan. Typically, just going to leave that in auto just to select what's most appropriate. And your temperature selection is just your arrows there. With your air conditioner going, you got two different options. You can have this louver here closed, in which case you'll be using all of our ceiling ducting to move the air, or you can open it up and it just dumps all of its air into the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want to open that up, cool off this air as quickly as possible, then you can close it off, start moving the air throughout. After cool, if you hit mode again, it'll come down into heat. No fan selection here, it's just on is on. Select your temperature with your arrows. That'll fire up the furnace. Furnace is moving its air through portals. After heat, you hit fan again, it'll come down into fan. It cycles back around. To turn it off, press and hold the power button. That'll turn it off. Right. Straight down the wall from there, you're going to find your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, sits on the floor. If that guy detects it, starts going off just like a smoke detector. Smoke detector straight up from it. There you go. And then in your bedroom here, so you can see that other closet space. And then this emergency exit here. You just pull on this screen to get rid of it. Take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. Blinds throughout the unit, just sit where you leave them. In the slide out here, your lights just got the push button on the side. You can see you've currently got it set up as the dinette. If you were to take your table, wiggle it up and out of its legs, the legs will then wiggle out of their bases. The table will sit onto those three ledges there. You'll take your back cushion, fill in the middle, and create your bed. In the kitchen, you get your storage right up top here. Inside of here, you're going to find that binder. It's got all of your owner's manuals, any remotes, any keys, anything like that, you're going to find right in there. Underneath, it's a little light. Then you get your hot and cold water at the sink, of course. A little bit of storage underneath it. You can also access the storage from the other side there, right by the entrance. Just being mindful of your drains and your water lines, of course. The drawer space here as well. Microwave, pretty standard, just like home. Down underneath it, you get your range vent, fan, as well as your light. For the stove, you're going to take that bifold cover and just flip it on back. Take these knobs here, turn it over the light, hit that sparker. You can see she fires right up. There we go. Once you're done, just turn them all back off, letting it cool down and bringing that cover back over them. For the oven, you're going to open it up, turn that knob there over to that little flame. And again, just hitting that igniter. You can see that pilot light gets going. Once you have it going, you just hold the knob in for another second, then you can release and the flame will hold itself. Turn up to your desired temperature and she fires right up. Once you're done, you can turn it back down just a pilot. It'll hold just a pilot light for you, but if you're going traveling, you just want to make sure it's right off. 1 is just the knobs, 2 is the knobs as well as the oven. Underneath your oven is your converter. Press the top and center, it'll pop on open. All of your breakers in the middle here. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All of your fuses are on the right side there. Whenever your fuse pops, you'll get a little red LED right beside it, letting you know exactly which one went. 12-volt fridge, so as long as your batteries are charged, you're charging. This guy's going for you. Freezer up top, fridge down low. Return air for your furnace down underneath it, so just kind of making sure it's not blocked off. Into the bunk spaces here, you get the lights just on the side here. There are 2 identical spaces. Right. And then doghouse storage underneath. And then into your bathroom here. So you have the same sort of dual function lights in here as well. Roof vent right up above us. You just turn in that knob to open it up. Back corner, you get the switch, it turns on the fan. Your medicine cabinet here just flips on open. Underneath it, you get your monitor panel. In the bottom corner is your water pump switch. So as you turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Battery, you can see we're currently C for charging. G would be good, F is spare, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to a third, 2/3, and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. Water heater controls right beside it. It's on the right side here. You get that little flame. It's just letting you know you're firing it up with with propane. The little thunderbolt on the left side would let you know that you're firing it up with electricity. And if this little red light in the center here were to come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off, back on to reset it. Hot and cold water at the sink, a little bit of storage underneath it. GFR protected outlet right beside it. So chest on the left, reset on the center. So if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Toilet just flips on open. You get your flusher front and center there. And then into the shower, your travel latch is on the left side there. And you can see you get the nice standard, the deluxe head and hose. You get the stainless stuff. Once you're done, just making sure that travel latch gets back into place. And that's about it for this unit. So if you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.